lot of our footballing legends are calling time on their stay on earth here with us. But the permanence that we feel left by the void of their departure can also be filled by the joy, the absolute splendor, and everything they gave us while they were on earth. Franz Beckenbauer has died today, a man who epitomized everything that it meant to be a center back, a footballer, one of the finest German exports in the world of football and sports. Now, my earliest memories of Franz Beckenbauer were not as a player because I was obviously too young to see him play. I knew him more as an executive and as a Bayern Munich legend and his role that he played in their success. My mom is a huge German football fan, and part of the reason why I am a huge football fan. And she grew up in the era in the 1970s and 80s when Germany was a footballing force. And not only Germany, but Bayern Munich as well. And Franz Beckenbauer was everything to the German national team and the Bayern Munich team. A man who not only won the World Cup as a player, but as a manager as well. One of only 3 people to do it. A man who, whenever I think of him, all I can think of is innovation. The man who is probably the prototype to everything that you see as far as the sweeper role in defending. Whenever you look at William Saliba or Virgil van Dijk or Thiago Silva, Alessandro Nesta or Paolo Maldini when he played as a center back, you could see where the template that Franz Beckenbauer had created in the 70s in that Bayern Munich team that won 3 consecutive European Cups. You could see where that template was born. This is a man whose elegance and skill on the pitch is always going to be remembered, simply not only because he innovated the game, but because he also showed how to do it as a manager. And that is a very difficult thing to do because we've seen most pundits talk about the firing of Wayne Rooney and the inability of your Frank Lampards and your Steven Gerrards to make it from being a world-class football player to making it as a manager. But this guy was able to do it. And of course, he had a good team to call upon. And he also had absolute legends, you know, the likes of your Mullers and your Lothar Matthäus and people who were one of the best generation of football to come out of West Germany. But I think more importantly was the man he was off the field and everything that he did in embodying what it was to be a German footballer. I believe he was an honorary captain for both club and country. He is somebody who, when you think of center backs and you think about the influence that somebody could have on a pitch, you think about him. When you think about the legends that we've seen in football, be it Diego Maradona, be it Dennis Bergkamp, be it Pele, everybody else in between, you think about Franz Beckenbauer as one of the people who not only brought a smile to each and every one who loves football, but was an absolute legend in what he did. Now, I know it's going to be hard for a lot of us in this generation to know just how much of an impact he made when he was playing the game. And I myself will also say that being a history buff, all I can do is probably look at the tapes and look at the games he played and think about how much he innovated football. But you only have to listen to how people from that generation speak of him. Much in the same way that you hear people talk about Maldini, or they talk about Virgil van Dijk, and you talk about your Nemanja Vidic and all those people who made the modern game beautiful to watch. You always have to think that somebody came before them that was able to exemplify and show all the skills that we see right now. Much in the same way you think about Johan Cruyff and the Cruyff turn, and you think about Pele and how he innovated the fact that goal scorers are what they are right now. You think about Diego Maradona and you look at the way Lionel Messi came over and replicated a lot of the things he did. And then you look at some of the people who in midfield, your Dennis Bergkamps, you know, the people who made the game what it is right now, or Thierry Henry and what he was able to do on the left-hand side and how he innovated striking. And even right now, when you look at people like Kevin De Bruyne, you have to understand that some of these people were much larger in life than you would probably perceive them to be. And Franz Beckenbauer was one of those people. So to one of my mom's personal best players ever. I would like to say a rest in peace. Thank you for doing what you managed to do for football and being the ambassador for what Germany was right now and for what Bayern Munich is, although Bayern Munich tends to beat my Arsenal team a whole lot. Franz Beckenbauer was more than just a football player. He is an icon and one of German football's most respected and most hallowed exports ever to the world of football. Rest in peace, legend. Peace.